Okay, welcome back. So for this video, I will cover lab 6 or task 6 in week 5 activities, still in the Linux-based enumeration. So for this task, lab 6, NFS share enumeration, I will enable my Metasploitable because Metasploitable by default already developed and created the shared folder. Okay, network file systems NFS shared folder. We share already the file system for internal network. So that you can mount the file system in your local Linux based on the shared file system set in the Metasploitable tool. So any data that is shared there, we can copy, okay, in our local Linux. So this lab objectives to discover and mount NFS network file system share, and this is the target with NFS enabled by default. So NFS is a Linux equivalent of SMB file sharing. If you still remember in Windows based, right? We try to explore and then we try to discover. So we can discover the shared folder from the Metasploitable. So meaning that internally, internal network, the SMB and also NFS can interoperable together. In terms of usability is good, but in terms of security, there are vulnerable things, right? Okay. Allow remote system to mount directory as if they were local. Then many Linux system expose NFS without proper permission. NFS already there 20 years, 30 years ago. I still remember the beginning of 20s already there. We are connecting all the, we are sharing the file system in the internet network. Okay, for research, for sharing the document, the installer, and so on. Okay, and then in terms of security, we need to have some protection so that not everyone can access it. For example, here we try to check, is it any NFS file system, NFS service enabled or the port open. For example, here we still using our map as enumeration tools. So normally NFS in Linux will use port 2049 TCP port, and try to find my target. Actually 110 is my Metasploitable VM. You can see here it's open, NFS open. So NFS only for Linux based lah, right? For Windows I'm using SMB. Then we try to list out the NFS share. We know already open, so that we try to show the mount point that they share. Show on HE. So here, oh right. So that's mean in the root. Is it the root folder or the root directory or other directory? Maybe you can try to find it. Okay. So this is the mount point dash asterisk. Normally this one in Linux, this is related to the root mount point lah. So root file system. So the share root file system very dangerous. It's okay. So we try to find and then try to mount lah. Okay, now we can create our own mounting mounting point lah in our local system. Okay, my Kali, I want to create the mount point locally in my Kali to get the shared info from the NFS directly checked by Metasploitable. Okay. So I will put it in the MP directory. FS, okay. FS on. So it can go to that particular mount point later. So the shared info or the shared file system lah, you can say. File system will be mount locally in my Kali from Metasploitable. So on, will mount it locally. So we'll be using NFS 168.56.0 to take the home directory, meaning that by default the machine Metasploitable actually log in, or the user for Metasploitable actually MSF admin, right? You still remember. So I will take that this user home directory and mount it into my local Kali Linux directory. B FS. Okay. So see here, created target created with this the sim link, the synchronized link. So how to check? Is it that mount point already successfully mount the remote directly from my Metasploitable VM? Try to list. Jangan list sorry, list out the content. Okay, one still here. List out the content from my local MP FS. So this is my local, from my local. Okay, you can see here my local directory already have link locally. Okay, from this FTP MS admin service user from the Metasploitable. So how to check? I mean, how to verify? Is it correct? Maybe I will reshare and then I will show together Metasploitable VM. Okay. Okay. Now this is my Metasploitable VM. Is it correct? Correct. I already mount its home directory. Okay, this one vulnerable. Right, vulnerable actually in the home. You can see pwd leave home MSF admin. So I meaning that I already inside the MSF admin here. Okay, maybe I can verify again. This one MSF admin, and then if let's say I go back to my Metasploitable, go to the home. Like if you see the home, we have 4 folder or directory: FTP, MSAdmin, service, and user. Okay, meaning that already inside the chat room, but maybe I can try to go another level. SF admin, right? So here the message admin com. This one from Metasprite. So I can go to my phone folder. It's similar. You can see all the same, right? So I just link here and mount a similar chat directory from Metasploit into my Kali. Can play around lah. Either want to download, you want to modify, and can try later. This is the things for NFS. Clear? Clear? So you can try screenshot, list file inaccessible share. So I only list like you can go to another. So saya got another one, Samba, Wiki. So analysis. So for this one, you try to find, is it any confidential or sensitive file? Any database file, you know lah what is any vulnerable things that you can expose. So please try to analyze by yourself. Next, this LDAP. Okay. Okay, next we move to lab 7. Consider the last part for the activities. But later you will require to compile all the tasks to be put in a single report. Okay, that's it later lah. But this one, for lab 7 or task 7, we'll look into the LDAP enumeration. So tentatively only 15 minutes required. Depend on your device, okay, or your machine. First of all, what is LDAP actually? Okay. So LDAP consider the one of the protocol. The full name is Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, where this protocol or these services, the service store users and computer information in specific server. For example, if I'm running the LDAP service in my server, so if the attacker can compromise my server, then they have all this information. So in Windows domain environment, normally we'll use Active Directory. Okay? That if you have time, you can try to explore. So you can install Windows Server, trial edition, and then try to add the service, Active Directory service, where you can manage the service for the users with their privilege, with their credential, and then it can be integrated with other services as well. For example, if you want to create single sign-on, you want to allow this directory access to allow it to integrate with network or Wi-Fi access, or email access, and others. Right, this can be done. And currently, recently, this particular service, when they integrate together in cloud environment, then we call it as IAM, or Identity and Access Management. It's considered as first line of defense. Before user can be allowed to access specific resources. So this is more on the communication and authorization part. And ultimately, this information can be used as well for accounting, triple A. Okay. Authentication, authorization, and also accounting part. So this is very helpful. So if let's say attacker can compromise LDAP service, this consider very bad thing for you, right? That's why nowadays if you found there are highly demanding skills for pen tester, if you're able to mastering the Active Directory pen test, okay? Try to see how the skills develop your career later. Okay, this is very basic LDAP. You see here, LDAP normally will use port 389. You can check first, is it your LDAP has been enabled or not? Okay. Okay. Map will use this one now. 9 disable. This is the IP address. So I just simulate internally in my Kali Linux because my Metasploit I can't install the things. If you manage to install and install the LDAP service on top of your Metasploitable or any Linux operating system or virtual machine, like Ubuntu, Fedora, and others, you can do it as well. Like this one, I just install on top of my Kali, so I just simulate here. Go here, check, filter, okay. I also want to check my, oops, sorry. Okay, and upload back the address. This is localhost address for my, oops, sorry. Close, close not but enable lah. Okay. But this one inside our inside my Kali Linux, it's using this network interface and map are filtered. That means the service there not filtered. So what I can do? Because later I will try to find how to check at the service line. But before that, I want to install utilities. But for the new version of Kali, I need to install slapd. Okay, for LDAP service. Open LDAP. This one for open LDAP. Okay, I just give you the full. This is the by default, right? You just add another service here, slapd. This is for open LDAP. For the new version of Kali. Okay, for me, I already installed. No, issue. Just that, or you can. But you can also update first, apt-get update before you can install it. This one I already installed. You can update first, and then I try to see first before I can check is it available or not. I need to check is it this service so one we need to export update. Okay, I want to check the status of the LDAP. Oops, sorry. Not LDAP, okay. My LDAP already. Change to slap. Okay, slapd. Okay. This is the service that I have installed, but the utilities include actually the LDAP. Now you can see the status of my open LDAP server daemon inactive. Okay, disable, inactive, meaning the service is not turned on, not active. So before I can get the information to scan, to run the basic query of the LDAP, I need to start the service. If you are using Ubuntu, it will be different. Using Fedora, there will be Debian as well, will be different. So you try to find out to check the status of the service. Similarly, if you want to check SNMP, LDAP, NFS service, HTTPD service, MySQLD service, we can use the same command, but just change the name of the service. For this one, just start. Now I started the slapd or open LDAP server. Now I get back the status. Now the status running, but the service still preset disabled because we don't configure anything. Just make it run first. Then get started. Now I want to run the LDAP search. For this version, the command here, the query is not working. I need to use the new command here. Okay. So this is mine. I will use my loopback. Can didn't use the IP address. Oh, it. Let me try it first. See what we will get. Because we need not configure anything. Maybe this is by default. They will put my loopback address. Then you can configure, reconfigure to put the default IP for your LDAP. But this one I just try first because by default logically lah. This is from my logic point of view. So this one 1.9 is mine. See here. Oh, this is available. Extended version 3, LDAP version 3, filtered, and then open LDAP root and so on. So search but result 0 says. To respond from this search FS base. Okay. This is very basic. And now see the LDAP server information. Now I want to query regarding the server, the base. And even if you, remember, if you need to install, it will be pop up. For example, there are some configuration lah, but this one I reconfigure. But I need to enter password because the password already configured. If you newly install the LDAP service or add slapd service, you require to put your administrator privilege. Okay, what else? Database. But now I want to see the information here, right? DC example. What information that I can obtain? Okay, maybe I can try to find here on that. My DC is still not here. That's mean DC.com. I don't have the domain. Okay. If let's say you configure the domain mmu.edu.my, you can just simply search or your client already have the domain. Easy for you to find. But this one, I just use that search again. Then search with could be DC. So this one the default no domain lah. Then put no domain. No domain. It was on the Is it available? No, cannot. I need to put PC X or not. It's not. No S. Okay. This one PC B. Consider if no domain is there. Yes, this is no domain. Search to access. You there are no domain. Is in no domain. Object also no domain. Okay. And then maybe I just want to see the all information. Okay, I can use what else you draw. Select. Okay, for this select that I can find here. No domain. Oh, I have this one. Create the name. The end. Create the name. Is in the domain. Create timestamp where it is created. And I have also modified name and entry CSN and others. You can find what are the information what is CSN and others, right? Well, here this is my info. Other than that, you can directly find here. For example, you know already. I think it's here. So it's fine to find who are the creator, who are the who am I, and that who am I, and then the info that you want to, for example, creator name, and equal to admin is a variable, and then the domain controller. This is domain controller. So it's C, no domain. Is it available? Similarly, in Windows, for example, you need to create the controller first before you can make it as service, enable the service. Now, enter LDAP password. I created the password before using my own password lah. Okay, yes, there are and NDC for domain name. Go to create the name admin and domain controller. No domain. And this is the user or the creator of who am I. This means the who use that server, the services, right? Other than that, there are another option you can find in the control service. The service, yeah. So from here you can see where the log. And then other than that, okay, this one done. What else you need to do? That open, okay, done, okay. Complete here. So you can see for by default there are no domain because I did not configure. You can find later how to configure this controller on top of your Linux. Now done here, and then you try to have a query like that. If you name user font is available, is it user font? For this one, only one user, admin user, right? Does not yet created. If you have time, you can create new user, manage the user, and so on. Okay, and lastly, for this lab 8, actually you are compiling all the work or tasks that you have done in a report. Will include the section of Windows enumeration until all the requirement here. Like everything you have done, just compile it and make it a formal report. There are some troubleshooting that this one some of you ask me in the class so I can help. But for others which still having some issue, you need to troubleshoot by yourself, try your best. Because most of the time, as a pen tester, you are the one actually responsible to setting up all your environment. If it doesn't work, we try to make it work. Okay, because here also in class, I see there are multiple type of environment whose operating system where I can see that everything similar to so that I can cover everything. So you have to try yourself for troubleshooting, especially your own machine. You should know better. Okay, how it's work. And then permission deny. So try to use sudo. If you cannot install, you cannot run the command. Other than that, try to see your connection between your target IP, target machine, target virtual machine, and also the attacker virtual machine, tracking pin, and so on. Right. Other than that, problem tool run but find no service. That's normal. Reason why? Maybe firewall is blocking the port, so you need to disable your firewall. For example, right? And then not running target you wrongly pin or you wrongly point the target machine, the IP address, and so on. Okay. That's why you need to document or target well secure. So if the target protected, you cannot. But for simulation part, you can disable a bit. For example, I disable Windows firewall, and then I also enable the network discovery, network share, so to simulate how the data can be obtained. Okay. Other than that, for these last three tasks, LDAP, SNMP, and NFS, some of it not available. That's why I show you I demo in the video to install, to setting up the services on top of Kali. If you have your own Linux, for example, Fedora, Ubuntu, and so on, you can use your own Linux. For those that manage to install that particular service, these three services, um, on top of your metasploitable, and that's good. That's good. Try it. But NFS, I think no issue because then NFS by default already configured and open in metasploitable. Only LDAP and SNMP lah. Okay. So problem not open, reason service not installed, so you need to install to simulate. If you did not install, then you cannot simulate like what I have here. And then try to run the enumeration method instead. Okay, this is the good reference. Now, there are some, for example, some tools or command doesn't work. Can try. For example, MAT scan only support Linux from the Kali, but if you want to run from Windows, you need to use NVT stats and others. Okay, I show you in all the step-by-step videos. So good luck. Thank you.